The Oculus Rift is a virtual reality headset with a 2160 by 1200 resolution per eye. That's what caught my attention. This review is affiliate linked, but not sponsored by the brand, so I'll give you my honest take. The Oculus Rift is a PC-based VR headset designed for gaming and other immersive experiences. It's typically priced in the mid to high range, around $300 to $400, depending on the bundle and any sales. If you're someone who's into gaming, or you're just curious about VR, this might be a product to consider. If you're someone who's already invested in a gaming PC, and you're looking to upgrade your experience, the Oculus Rift could be a good fit. You'll need a computer with a decent graphics card, at least 8 GB of RAM, and an Intel Core i5 or AMD equivalent processor. If you've got that set up, the Rift can provide a pretty impressive VR experience. The Rift itself is a well-built device, with a comfortable headset and intuitive controllers. It's made of plastic and fabric, with a weight of around 470 grams, so it's not too heavy to wear. The finish is matte black, which looks pretty sleek. Typically, you'll get the headset, 2 sensors, 2 controllers, and a few other accessories in the box. Some users have reported that the build quality is solid, but there are some concerns about the longevity of the materials, particularly the fabric parts. In real-world use, the Oculus Rift performs well in most scenarios. For example, if you're playing a game like Beat Saber, the Rift's tracking system and controllers work together seamlessly to provide a really immersive experience. You can move around, swing your lightsabers, and feel like you're really in the game. The graphics are sharp, and the motion tracking is usually accurate, with a latency of around 20 milliseconds. However, if you're trying to play a game that requires a lot of movement, like a first-person shooter, you might find that the Rift's tracking system can get a bit wonky. The sensors can lose track of the controllers, or the headset, if you're moving too fast or too far away. If you're trying to use the Rift for something like watching movies or browsing the internet, it's not really the best tool for the job. The screen resolution is high, but it's not as good as a dedicated TV or monitor, and the experience can feel a bit gimmicky. The Rift is also not great for people who wear glasses, as the headset can be a bit uncomfortable to wear with specs. The field of view is around 110 degrees, which is pretty standard for VR headsets, but it's not as wide as some other models. In another scenario, if you're playing a game that requires a lot of processing power, like a graphics-intensive game, the Rift can handle it pretty well. The recommended specs for the Rift include an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon RX 480 graphics card, which can handle most modern games at high settings. However, if you're trying to play a game that's really demanding, like a AAA title, you might find that the Rift's performance can be a bit inconsistent. The frame rate can drop, or the graphics can get a bit fuzzy, which can be distracting. The Rift also has a pretty good library of games and experiences available, with around 1,000 titles to choose from. You can find everything from casual games, like puzzle games, to more intense experiences, like horror games or simulations. The Oculus Store is pretty easy to navigate, and you can usually find what you're looking for without too much trouble. However, there are some genuine weaknesses to the Oculus Rift. One of the biggest issues is the price, which can be a bit steep for some people. Typically, you're looking at around $300 to $400 for the headset and controllers, which is a significant investment. Another issue is the space requirements, as you'll need a pretty large play area to get the most out of the Rift. You'll need at least 2 meters by 2 meters of clear space to use the Rift comfortably, which can be a problem for people with smaller rooms. Finally, the Rift's compatibility can be a bit limited, as it's designed specifically for PC use. If you're trying to use the Rift with a console or a Mac, you're out of luck, as it's not compatible with those platforms. You can check the current pricing and read other reviews using the affiliate link in the description below. So, who is the Oculus Rift actually suited for? If you're a PC gamer who's looking to upgrade your experience, and you've got the budget to spare, the Rift could be a good choice. If you're someone who's really into VR, and you want a high-quality headset, the Rift is also a good option. However, if you're on a tight budget, or you're looking for a more casual VR experience, you might want to look elsewhere. If you're trying to use the Rift for something like watching movies or browsing the internet, you're probably better off with a different device. Does the Oculus Rift do what it claims at the price it asks? Honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag. The Rift is a great VR